Hope everybody is having a pretty good night tonight. I had a couple things that wanted to mention before we got into our topic that we were going to talk about a little bit tonight. First of all, we want to make sure we are remembering all those who have lost loved ones and all those who are sick and dealing with illnesses at this time. And we want to make sure that they all remember that they are in our thoughts and our prayers. Wanted us to talk just a little bit about contentment. Interesting topic about contentment, happiness. Those kind of topics are things that a lot of times people avoid because we go into the question of what makes someone happy. Because when you talk about contentment, that's what you're really talking about, is what makes someone happy. Well, interestingly enough, I've read an article talking about how happiness today is something that is hard to find. As a matter of fact, when people from the age to 18 to 35 were interviewed, most of them said that generally they were not happy. Not only generally were they not happy, but they never believed that they would have the happiness that their parents and grandparents had. They never believed they would have the stability that their parents and grandparents had. And my question is this: what causes that? What causes somebody to get to the point to where they look at their life and they're just not happy with where they're at? I want us to talk about a couple quick topics real quick on the idea of happiness and how it goes hand in hand with contentment. Now, when I talk about happiness, the life that each and every one of us live should be a testament of a gift that was given to us that we do not deserve. And because of that, each and every day should be a blessing, and we should really truly look at it that way. But too many times today, many people don't. And we ask the question, we say, why? Well, there's a couple reasons, especially in today's world, why people just do not find the happiness that they think they're looking for. The first reason I wanted us to talk just a little bit about was simply that the world we live in today, people look around and they see this image of what they think that they should be or what they think they should do, and they do not understand that happiness does not come in things. It doesn't. There is not one thing that you're ever going to buy that's going to give you this absolute happiness for the rest of your life. Now, a lot of times the world would tend to make you think that that's not really the case, because the world always wants you to get this new this or this new that, and there's always some major difference, and something's going to be so much better, and it's life-changing. But the reality is, when we get these things, we soon find out that they really didn't do anything for us. And people find themselves going into large amounts of debt and everything else because they feel like they can find happiness in things. I'm here to tell you that there's nothing wrong with having a nice vehicle to drive. There's nothing wrong with having a nice house or a nice TV, etc. But the reality is, happiness doesn't come from any of that. You know, I have people who joke and poke fun at me all the time about my old truck. But you know what? I get in it and I turn the key and it cranks. And when I want to go somewhere, it gets me there. And when I want to come back, it comes back. And I'm happy with it. It's an old truck. It's nothing special. It's nothing fancy. But it just does what it was intended to do. And I've had people who've come up and said, why don't you just trade that thing in? Well, why? A lot of times people think that they're going to find happiness in things. The next thing I wanted to bring up was the reason why people are not very happy in this life that we live now is this very device in which I'm recording something on. Now, I want to go ahead and preface by saying that technology and things of that nature can be a good thing. They've always been able to be a good thing when used properly. But we've gotten to a point with today where people are so insistent that these handheld devices that we call telephones, that are more like computers, that you have to have them and you can't go without them, and you find people that this idea of not having it in their hand or in their pocket or in their purse or whatever that case may be, they can't go without it. It's just something that they have to have. And because people find themselves in that situation, they start thinking that they can find happiness in a device. Because, let's be honest, a phone's really good at lying to somebody about what situation they're in. When you can get on Facebook and things like that and have bunches of people like everything you have, and it gives somebody a temporary moment of gratification. But it's also very addictive. And it's addictive to the point of where a lot of times when it comes to church services, people cannot put the phone down. They can't do it. So my question to you is simply this: are you really truly happy? Not in things, not where you're at in your life, not in the accomplishments that you've had, but a happiness that is far greater than anything above that. Because you see, as Christians, we have an understanding that everything here on this earth isn't going to last. There's no vehicle that's going to last. There's no phone. There's no certain type of technology. None of that stuff lasts. But what does last is your soul. And the question is, where's your soul going? Because if you know without a shadow of a doubt that you're going to heaven and paradise is waiting for you, the rest of the stuff, well, it's just that. It's stuff. It's stuff that doesn't really matter. And at the end of the day, somebody else will own it even after you pass away. So, when we go through the rest of our week, I want us to just evaluate where it is that we think we are putting our happiness, and make sure it's that we are putting God above anything else. Thank you, and have a blessed day.